Next up on our evolution of evolution came 2006, when Night 1 saw Vanilla as she teamed up with Havok to take on the European Union, and Johnny Wimbledon got beat badly. Catfight. And then for the very first time at Evolution, we saw an invitational tournament qualifier between Damian Slater and Shane Haste, where Shane Haste unfortunately came up short against the South Australian Damian Slater. And then came the unforgettable main event of Night 1, where GST threw out an open challenge to any tag team in Australia to come out and face them. And out came Davis Storm, and making his debut with the Forefathers, Hartley Jackson, as they teamed up for a very quick surprise victory to become the new EPW Tag Team Champs. However, on Night 2 of Evolution 2006, GST were given their chance at revenge as they teamed up with Psychophet to take on the Forefathers. However, the Forefathers continued their dominance and picked up another victory. Also in action on Night 2 of Evolution 2006, we saw for the very first time in singles action, Mikey Nicholls versus Shane Haste. Mikey, the more experienced wrestler at the time, picked up the victory, but Shane Haste certainly impressed the fans. And then came our main event of Evolution 2006 Night 2, as Jimmy Payne once again captured the explosive Pro Wrestling Championship from the clutches of Havok in an unforgettable lumberjack match. Then we hit Evolution 2007. This was the first time that the Invitational Tournament was held at Evolution in its entirety. We saw the matches of Spike Steele defeating Richter and Shane Haste taking out AZ Vegara. And then in the final, Shane Haste made history by becoming the Invitational Tournament winner for 2007. Night 2 of Evolution 2007 kicked off in massive style as the Fighting Hellfish defeated the Forefathers for the EPW Tag Team titles in a match that literally fought all over the building. Night 2 also saw Mikey Nicholls for the last time in EPW for quite a while as he went off to the United States. Unfortunately, in his final match, he lost to Damian Slater. And then, of course, who could forget the match of the year for 2007, Bobby Marshall and Jimmy Payne in a ladder match for the EPW Championship. Jimmy Payne coming out on top of that one and walking away the EPW Champion. And that, to this day, is the only ladder match in EPW history until May 29, when we see it once again. We'll get to that in a moment. The last stop in the evolution of Evolution, 2008. Evolution Night 1, we saw a big four-way tag team championship match as Dan Moore and Chase Griffin defeated Ferguson Block and Azazel, Vim Penhero and Sebastian Sander, and the European Union. Now this was the first time that Chase Griffin and Dan Moore captured the EPW Tag Team Championships, and they held them through all the rest of 2008. And the main event of Evolution Night 1 2008 saw an unforgettable tape-fist street fight between Bobby Marshall and FN Carnage Tyler Jacobs. This was a huge matchup where we saw Bobby Marshall walk away with the victory over Tyler Jacobs. And Evolution Night 2 2008 saw a big match with Davis Storm and Jimmy Payne going at it in a Falls Count Anywhere match, where Davis Storm picked up a big victory over Jimmy Payne after Jimmy Payne literally gored himself through one of the doors at the Venville Center in Maylands. Also on Night 2 saw a huge six-man tag team matchup with Shane Haste, Alex Kingston and Carl Steria, the Blitz Team, defeating AZ Vegara, JT and Michael Morleone the Don. And then the big main event of Evolution Night 2 2008, Bobby Marshall defeating Mikey Nicholls to hold on to his EPW Championship. So there you go, 8 years of Evolution, which has seen 3,676 tickets sold. It's been voted the event of the year a massive 4 times. We've seen 92 huge matches with 7 EPW title changes. And it all boils down to this: Evolution 2009, coming May 29 and 30, and I'm telling you, it is going to be one of the biggest evolutions in the history of explosive pro wrestling. We're kicking it off on May 29, where Team Allstar's Michael Morleone takes on Jose Del Santo. Also in action, a big four-way matchup with Davis Storm, Jay Taylor, Sebastian Sander, and AZ. And then making his explosive pro wrestling debut, the mad bastard of Australian wrestling, Crackerjack, will go one-on-one with the hardest chopping man in Australian wrestling, Devlin Reeves. Talk about big matches, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Jamie Dura and Richter will go head-to-head to decide who is the interim explosive pro wrestling champion. And if one title match wasn't enough, we also have the EPW tag team titles being defended for the very first time in a ladder match. This match is going to be simply unforgettable. Shane Haste and Alex Kingston putting the gold on the line against the team of Dan Moore and Chase Griffin. And then less than 24 hours later, May 30, we move into Evolution Night 2, where we're going to see Ferguson Block and Shooter McGavin taking on the Schmitz. And then this big new match just added to Evolution Night 2, where we'll see the mad bastard of Australian wrestling, Crackerjack, once again in action as he takes on the man making his return to explosive pro wrestling, Bobby Marshall. If that match wasn't big enough, it's just been announced it's going to be a hardcore matchup. That one is going to be big. And of course, it doesn't get much better than this. We're going to find out who the undisputed explosive pro wrestling champion is on Night 2 of Evolution, when Davis Storm, Jay Taylor, and the winner of Richter versus Jamie go at it in a three-way dance to decide who gets the gold. It's going to be massive. It's happening on the 29th and 30th of May. Of course, you can get your tickets from EPWPerth.com. My name's Lucky Boland, reporting for EPW Perth. I hope to see you there.